Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. And of course, as you know, over the last few weeks, we've spoken to a number of women rugby participants, including, of course, Babalwa Lacha, who's, of course, the captain of the Springbok women's rugby side, as well as the captain of the Western Province rugby side, women's side. So we thought it'd be a good idea for us to speak to the head of Western Province Rugby women's sport, or Western Province Rugby women's manager, if I'm saying that right, Samuel Malatsi. Sammy, have I got that title right?
That's correct, JP, and thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, Sammy, thanks. I know you've been in the studio with us before, so we haven't spoken to you for a while. We did speak to Babalwa last week and a few weeks before that, and of course her role as the captain of Western Province Rugby women's side, as well as her role as the South African rugby women's side. You guys must be very proud of her.
Yes, we indeed are proud of Babawa, obviously captain of Western Province Rugby and obviously captain of the Springboks as well. So, and she's doing a good job. She's been very busy in the off season. As
Yeah.
you know, COVID-19 obviously allowed us just to be in our priorities, in our limited areas. So yes, she's been doing good by
And of
practicing and keeping her fit.
And of course, it's just over a month now that the announcement was made that, and we're going to speak to her tonight. In fact, Laurie and Johannes, your coach at Western Province for the women's side, has been appointed as an intern coach together with Stanley Robenheimer also at the South African level. That's great accolades for Western Province Rugby.
Indeed, it is, JP, having the captain and having our Western Province head coach to be part of the World Cup squad. Lorian came through the ranks, and she's still learning. So it's good having female coming through coaching female rugby. So in the future, you'll see a little bit more from her.
Sammy, let's go back a little bit, back to club level. Of course, that remains one of your focuses at Western Province Rugby, to have women participants playing club rugby.
Yes, JP. It all starts with club rugby. If you don't have a club rugby system, it means you won't produce in interprovincial or provincial level. So for us, club rugby is very, very important. At the moment, we're sitting with about 8 clubs, but we would like to obviously grow more clubs, more female participating and playing the game rugby.
Yeah.
But we're busy making some female aware of it.
Yeah. And for the folks that are watching here for the first time tonight, when you talk about the club rugby structures, just explain to us, in a normal league, we know that of course COVID has turned things completely upside down, but in a normal year, how would the clubs play against each other? How does that league structure work?
JP, it is a league whereby the clubs will play a home and away at a fixture that Western Province been drawn up by Western Province. They will play a home and away up till the end of September. And then the winner will be crowned the club rugby champion, and then that winner will take part in the club rugby championship, which is a provincial tournament whereby all the top clubs in all the provinces will take part. It's normally in Cape Town, and they will compete to be the best club in South Africa.
Is that what you call the IPL or the IPC, something like that?
No, there is more ground level. It is an initiative that Western Province started, obviously um, to help and province in getting club rugby started. Because
Okay.
as we know, we can't go without having club rugby because that's the ground level, and then from
Yeah.
there progress to provincial.
How are we doing from a coaching perspective?
JP, as you know, Western Province has been for quite a few years been leading in taking women's rugby step ahead. And in the off season or during the COVID-19 period, we were planning and discussing of how to bring through female coaches. So with Nazim, which is the coaching head of
Yes.
education, we decided to have a 3-year plan on bringing coaches through. So we will send through to clubs, women clubs, that to identify females that's passionate about rugby, that really would like to take it further in the game of rugby, identified female coaches, and then we will start with a course only for females, not men, only for females. And we'll have a 3-year program starting in November. And then next year we will have about 6 workshops for females. And we will obviously put them to clubs where they can coach. And then by end of next year, November, we'll start with the level 2 to prepare them again, and then we will work through them for the year again, and then the end of the 3rd year, we will take them to a 2.5, which will go through Jerome Parbarter.
Well, that's
So that is our
fantastic.
goal. That is our goal to obviously promote our females and getting more female coaches through.
Sammy, that's great news, and that's really great. I mean, so we've got high performance coaching really for women's rugby.
That's correct. We would like to, obviously, our thinking behind this is to get female coach females, female to administrate female rugby. So we as men will step aside and see that they will take the lead.
Well, already I think some of your players and coaches are taking the lead, especially if we look at Babalwa, who's leading at a national level, and Lorien, who's leading at a national. So you've certainly got a couple of things there to be very proud of.
Yes, indeed, we are proud of Babawa and Lorien.
Yeah.
And I think there's plenty to come. So, as they say, watch the space, JP.
Thanks, Sammy. We'll leave it at that. We'll catch up with you again soon.
Thank you very much, JP. Great having me on the show.
There we go, folks. Samuel Malatsi, Western Province Rugby Women's manager, and well, great news for women's rugby, especially around that high performance coaching component that they're going to be rolling out for the next year. And if you are watching the show and you want to coach, get involved. Reach out to Western Province Rugby and get involved with coaching, especially now, as you heard Nazim say and you heard Sammy say, you've got to sign up now, you've got to do those level courses on the World Rugby website and get your details through, and of course don't forget to do the COVID course. Folks, following on with women's rugby, we are going to be catching up with Laurie and Johannes, Western Province Rugby's women coach, as well as now at the national level. Don't go away, back in a sec.